Right now, Ford and Ram have unveiled some really strong incentives on their pickup trucks. And right now, GM has decided to crickets. Yes, GM has been very quiet this week. Just saying, guys, they have been very quiet. But listen, this is one of my favorite trucks. And some of you guys are gonna say I'm biased because I own this truck, but no, I don't own this truck. This is the AEV edition. I have really considered, and I'm waiting on AEV to do something, but I'm really considering getting one of these trucks, but I feel like it's too late. I feel like I might as well just wait a couple more years because they're probably gonna redesign these trucks anyways. But man, I love that front bumper. But let's go ahead and talk about these incentives that GM has available for these trucks. As of right now, there's a lot of manufacturers doing price adjustments. Some are halting production because of the tariffs that were enacted by Donald Trump. Now, I personally think this is a good thing for America, but everyone has their own opinion about that, so we won't go down that political road in this video. What I will say, however, I feel as though with these tariffs, the manufacturers have responded positively by giving out incentives. I did 2 videos recently with Ford doing employee pricing. They were first to do it, and then Ram followed up with their incentives, giving employee pricing for all too. However, if you really dig deep into those incentives are not for every model, and they're for 2024 model year trucks. But we'll discuss that in more detail here in a second. But what is GMC going to be doing with their trucks? That is the question, because I will be honest with you guys. If you're looking at what Ram is doing, if you're looking at what Ford is doing, they're taking big strides to move metal. Now, where is this truck assembled? They normally show it on the window sticker here. So right down below, it does show the dealership, and then final assembly is Flint, Michigan. This is the article I've been reading off of Car and Driver. They have been going in and updating this periodically. So the last time they updated it for GM was April 4th. It says here, General Motors consists of several brands: Cadillac, Chevy, Buick, and GMC. Car and Driver reached out to GM spokesperson for comment on the company's response to the tariffs, and they referred us to the statement from GM's trade association, the AAPC, which read, U.S. automakers are committed to President Trump's vision of increasing automotive production and jobs in the U.S. and will continue to work with the administration on durable policies that help Americans. In particular, it is critical that tariffs are implemented in a way that avoids raising prices for consumers and that preserves the competitiveness of the integrated North American automotive sector that has been a key success of the President's USMCA agreement. While no GM brand has officially announced any price changes, Chevy and GMC are reportedly increasing production of the light-duty Silverado and Sierra at the factory they share in Fort Wayne, Indiana, according to Reuters. GM's full-size trucks are also built in Canada and Mexico, and those locations reportedly account for about half of their total production. By shifting some of that capacity to its U.S. operations, Chevy and GMC should be able to offset some of the new tariff cost. But hold on here. They don't say anything about incentives. Now, if you go back to that same article I read from on the Ford video I did, it shows that Ford will be giving employee pricing, just like Ram on that same article. But GM doesn't talk about incentives for their trucks. In fact, they're talking about increasing production of the light-duty pickup trucks. Now, you guys did see too where it said some of the trucks are built in Canada and I believe Mexico, they said too. And I'm not sure if these are included, but obviously to keep up with production, they're built in other parts of the country too, right? One thing I've learned about GM pickups within the last couple years, when they fix their interiors, these trucks have become really desirable pickup trucks. And what I mean by that is, when you go to a GMC store, they don't really have any 2024 model year pickups. And if they do, it's either a Pro or like a SLE or SLT trim level. So if you go on GM's website right now, go into incentives, they have $2,750 of rebate on 2024 Pro which is a work truck, and SLT, I believe it is. So really, if you're looking at Denali or Ultimate or even something like this AT4X, these trucks are all 2025s. So the reality is GM doesn't really have to offset their inventory by offering employee pricing. In other words, if you're looking at a 2025 Ram HD or a 2025 Ford Super Duty, you're competing with the same pricing that GM has. So again, as of right now, HDs, there's pretty much no 2024s available for these trucks. And so when it comes down to it, all Ford and Ram really did was they got some excitement in the marketplace, which was golden. And I'm glad they did that, because we need people to have faith in the market. We just do. We need people to feel confident about going out and buying cars, because that helps turn inventory, which helps keep the economy turning in the right direction. So for GM, they don't have to offer employee pricing because all they have is 2025 model year trucks. And that's what's so crazy about this is when you drive to a Ford dealer, if you drive to a Ram dealer, they still probably have upwards of 30 to 50. If you're looking at the size of this dealership compared to those, they have 30 to 50 2024 HD Super Duty trucks still on the ground. And I'm talking about limited trims from the Ford, even, you know, Platinums. They're still in stock. Whereas if you come to a GMC store, they don't have the higher trim trucks available for sale. So when you really peel the onion back, I think GM has played this the best. When they did their updates to the HD trucks, I really think that they opened up a huge market share for themselves, because I think GMC trucks look the best. They have the best styling overall. If you want a pretty truck, that is, they have the pretty truck, as I call it, especially if you get an Ultimate truck or even a Denali or AT4. Now when you consider, you know, the Chevy side, Chevy trucks are nice too, and they're the price point truck for GM. Therefore, they too are not having any problems moving metal. If I were to go to the Chevy dealership down the street here, I'm willing to bet you majority of their trucks are going to be 2025. So as of right now, GM has no problem selling their HD trucks because they're all, you know, within this current model year. But I think that GMC should do something for 2025, simply because Ford and Ram are going to steal market share because they do have deep discounts. I mean, you're getting easily $10,000 off on a Ford Super Duty, and that's easy. On the Ram side, it's even more. So if someone is looking at like an AT4X, for example, I was talking to my friend back in Maryland, he said that they're still getting sticker for these AT4Xs. Now, as far as the Denali and Denali Ultimates go, they're starting to really see discounts on those trucks, but AEV editions are still hard to get. And I would say that AT4Xs, even the regular ones like mine, are still turning pretty quickly. They're not sitting there for months and months at a time. So that's why I think GM is in a good spot. They have a good product, but I think they should still be more competitive in this marketplace. But I hope you guys like the video. This is definitely a good time to buy and a good time to negotiate, because GM doesn't necessarily have a lot of incentives. You can come here with the intent of wanting to get this truck and say, well, Ram is giving me 5% below invoice, or Ford is giving me whatever their discount is, 3 to 5% below invoice. What are you guys going to give me? And that's just a good bargaining tool that you can have. Now, this truck here is $104,575. Has the AV edition, which is $9,390. Oh, did they raise the price of the Duramax diesel? It's $99.90 now. I did not know that. Now, this truck doesn't have fifth wheel prep package, and when you see the payload, see right here, this has almost the same payload as my non-AEV edition truck because it doesn't have fifth wheel prep package. In case you care to see these numbers, there they are. But let me know you guys' thoughts down below. I think this is one of the best trucks on the market. Yeah, they're having some issues here and there. They are. I mean, the oil cooler issue, the 10 speeds. Although I heard, and maybe I'll do some research on this, I heard that there's a new part number for the torque converter if someone can chime in the comment section, maybe I'll do some research and see if they've made some updates to the transmission to make it more reliable. Because if they do that, that's one issue down, and then the next one would have to be the oil cooler if they decide to fix that very soon. But yes, again, hope you guys liked the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Make sure your notifications are on. And if you would like for me to do a separate long form walk around with this truck, I'd be more than happy to do it. But I figured since you've already seen the payload, you kind of saw the window sticker, it's probably no reason for me to do another video. But yeah, be sure to go back through my videos. If I find one I've done recently, I think I did a black one earlier this year, so maybe I'll put that at the end of the video if you want to see a full view of this truck. But hope you guys liked the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure your notifications are on. See you guys soon.